Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. My name is Joe. I'm a full-time real estate photographer, and today we're going to be taking a look at how to price your real estate photography. And stick around to the end because I'm going to give you a little insight on other jobs that you can pick up or promote for yourself to increase your revenue, your yearly income. So let's dive into it right now. Here is my webpage that I promote my real estate photography pricing, and I do have video pricing on here as well. But the thing that I like to do is base it off of square footage. Now, there are other business models where you would deliver an X amount of photos for a certain amount, and you'll have that broken up. Maybe 0 to 10 photos is this amount, 20, or 10 to 20 photos is this amount, so on. I don't recommend doing that because it's going to get really confusing for you and the realtor, and they may not know how many photos a listing is going to need, and you are not going to want to have to try to calculate that throughout the entire listing shoot, especially how many distractions can happen on a listing shoot from the homeowner to the realtor talking to you. You might get sidetracked because think about it. If we're shooting flambient, we may sometimes do anywhere from 2 to 5 images for one deliverable image. So you're going to have to try to remember everywhere you were throughout the house the whole time, calculating out how many images to make sure you don't deliver. Make sure you deliver enough, but not too much, so then they're moving into a different pricing bracket. It just gets too muddy, too messy. So that's why square footage is easy, because typically the smaller the house, the less photos you're going to have to deliver anyway. The price is going to be less. The listing price is going to be less, so therefore it justifies maybe giving them a lesser, a better deal, or you're not going to charge them as much for that listing. That's why I do that. Now, the way to build up that price is charging more for add-ons such as video, drone photos. You could do virtual staging if you get into that. I personally don't, because I have, that's something that clients can outsource anyway. But let's take a look at my pricing plan, and maybe this will help you when you're trying to calculate how much to charge for your listing shoots. So I break it down, like I said, by square footage. Anything under 1,200 square feet is a certain amount. I charge $125. Right now, at the time of this video, I'm only charging $50 for drone photos, and usually that's only going to be 3 to 5 drone photos. It takes me, 5-10 minutes to throw the drone up and snag those photos real quick. Now, if I'm doing just drone photos only down here, starting at $150, and I suggest you have something like you're starting at a certain price, meaning depending on how big the property is, they might want you, you might go out to a property and just, might deliver 3 to 5 images, whatever, you can charge. Do not undercut yourself, because remember, you're paying for the drone itself, batteries, your time out there, your FAA, all the time it took to get your FAA license, the upkeep on that, your insurance, all this stuff plays into part your price. And that's where I kind of felt almost guilty for charging $150 just to put the drone up. I mean, no, you have to remember what it costed you initially and your skill, obviously. Take that into consideration too when you are pricing your stuff out, especially for the interior photography, okay? So, and then I go from 1,200 to 1,800, 18 to 2,500. And again, you can tweak these depending on, do a little research in your area. What are the, the average brackets? Or, say you have a lot of houses that are in the 2,000 square foot range, that they're million plus homes. You might want to jack that price up a little bit, because remember, the commission on those for the realtor is going to be enough to justify paying you $250, $300 to go out there and shoot that. Your work has to match your price though. But I'm not saying don't give your services away. Leave yourself some leeway to grow as you grow in your skill as a photographer. The other things that I do, like I mentioned before, is drone photos as an add-on, and video too. If you're not getting into video, I highly recommend you getting into video. It is a huge bump in my price. Sometimes it'll take a listing from anywhere from $200 up to $600. Just because they want a video for that listing. And a lot of clients will, if you're good, and I produce like what I call them, like a highlight film or a cinematic edit, they'll want to use that, to either get the listing, because it'll help them secure that listing if they're going up against other realtors, and they can also use that as promoting themselves as a realtor. Look, this is what I offer you. You know, if you want to list your house with me, we'll do video, professional photos, the whole nine. So it does help them out. So I highly suggest you get a gimbal and practice. I have videos out there on how to shoot listings, how to shoot videos. It's not that complicated once you get the flow down. So that is pretty much how I lay it out. Like I said, the full listing package, they get everything. They get drone included, photo, interior, exterior, with a cinematic video for $600. That may sound super duper cheap to some people, and again, it's going to be based on your area. But I figured, you know, if I'm doing just a drone video for $375, and some people are probably right now gasping like, that's all you're charging is $375. I know a lot of areas they're charging anywhere from $1,200 to $1,600 for a video. I would never get that in my area. Okay, so and I've learned to do it in a way that I'm making close to, well, over $100 an hour doing it, because I'm getting so fast at on-site shooting and coming home and editing them really quick. It's just a cookie cutter type of format, and the more you do, the more you're going to be able to know exactly what shots to get and how to just rip through a listing shoot and be in and out and then get home and edit it fast the same way. So at first you might be struggling taking, you know, 3-4 hours on site. But like I said, practice a routine, getting into a system down so you're doing the same thing every shoot. It's just a different house, okay? And that is about it. Now, the other things that I offer, and again, let's talk about what other things within the real estate genre that you can include. Obviously, Airbnb, so you want to market to them. I don't necessarily charge more for Airbnb. I may change that up, because that's the homeowner paying for their marketing materials through you. So they're going to be able to hold on to those and reuse those photos over and over again, you know, for the life of that Airbnb listing, as opposed to a realtor may only get a listing contract for 6 months to a year, and then if they don't sell the house, they're done and they're out of it. So I may suggest, and I'm going to start doing this too, is charging just a little bit more for Airbnb photos, because with that you could include more detail stuff throughout the house that, you know, you wouldn't necessarily do for a real estate listing. So consider that too. I would have a separate listing, and I need to start doing that for Airbnb and VRBO and all that, the short-term rental stuff. Now, getting away from real estate photography, because if you're learning the Flambient method, you're learning lighting, you're learning composition, you're learning how to put all that together. Now, obviously, doing portrait work is going to be a little different, but if you learn the simple headshot photo, you know, you can do a headshot outside or on a plain backdrop with one speed light and a reflector. You get a softbox, you know, anywhere from a 24, 26 inch, even up to 32 inch softbox with your single speed light, put a reflector next to them, and learn how to do a little bit of posing technique and just snap their photo. You can get an extra $200 out of them, and all realtors need a professional looking headshot. I have had several times where I have packaged up a deal where I'm shooting the realtor's headshot at the listing site, or I go to their office or whatever, or if you are able to have a studio in your house, highly recommend that, because you'll gather other business too, not just from realtors, but corporate gigs where you're going on site and shooting 10 or 15 employees from a certain company or business, and that's how you can really start racking up the money on that. Doing family photos. Like I said, you learn lighting, it's super easy. You can do natural light or use flash, speed light, whatever. I will start to have tutorials on that. Not a whole lot, because I want to keep this channel strictly focused on real estate photography, but I have done a ton of senior photos this year as opposed to any other year. So it's a nice bonus on top of just the real estate. Can I rely on just real estate? Not really. I mean, I don't have a team. I'm the only person going out there shooting real estate. I'm the only person doing it. So I don't have other teams out there shooting with me. I'm not in an area where I would be able to grow a team unless I started branching out into other cities around my area. I do travel. At least, you know, I've traveled 2 hours away many times, and of course I add that in for travel expenses, but just picking up corporate headshots, family photos, senior photos, has been a huge advantage in, a difference of, making $425 per senior photo shoot or not making that money. So I would highly recommend, if you enjoy that type of thing and if you want to get into that thing, don't be afraid to start branching off into learning other forms of photography if you haven't already. Because like I said, you never know when the real estate market is going to just come to a screeching halt, or realtors decide to use their iPhones, God forbid. So you just never know. You want to always be prepared and diversify yourself to better plan for the future. So leave me a comment below if you have any questions, or if you have any other suggestions for videos that I should be doing. And if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. I release tutorials all the time. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.